Welcome back, you guys, to part 2 of the pond build. A lot has happened since our last video. We actually ended up hitting some rock, unfortunately, so we've got to come up with another plan because we need this pond to be as deep as possible, hold as much water as possible for all of our crops. So I'm gonna get with Zach, see if we can come up with a plan to fix this. Hey.
So it's never ideal to run into rock like that. We're thinking, you know, we have a track hoe here because that's what they're using to take the trees out, and you can put a jackhammer on the end of that and kind of chisel through the rocks. If it's a ledge of rocks though, you really don't want to do that because that gets really expensive quickly and you don't really move fast. So the contractor that's doing the work suggested we could do some blasting if we had to.
Dynamite.
That would be cool, but there's permits involved in all that, and I don't know if we want to deal with all that and how much that might be.
Let's go back to the pond and show them what we're talking about.
Okay. Look good? We just came back here to the pond and we're hitting quite a bit of rock. Luckily, I just talked to him and it's a lot of layered rock. It's hopefully not just such a solid shelf. He said in a couple hours it should look a little better than it does now. He's already come down a couple feet in the worst area that we had. So we shouldn't have to do any dynamite or blasting, even though that would be cool. We shouldn't have to get a whole lot more equipment out here. We should be able to do it with what we have, and he's just gonna keep scraping it until we can get a little bit deeper and have the depth that we need.
As you can see behind me, this is the bank that they've built. The water will be about 7 to 8 feet deep right here. But over there that we just showed you, it will only be about 2 feet deep where the rock is. And that's also where our dock is gonna go. So we've got to get all the rock out so the dock can be better and we can just get more water in here because we have to have as much water as possible.
He's breaking it apart right now. It is luckily coming out in chunks like this, so a lot of it's this thick in different layers. So if he can keep breaking it apart like this and keep edging his way down, he's already come down quite a bit, so I'm hoping that's all there is to it. We'll see.
Welcome back, it's the next day, and we forgot to mention something else that we're doing for the pond. We're gonna take you back there and show you exactly what it is, and they also built our dock for the pond, so we're also gonna check that out.
We have dug a ditch all the way back to the new pond, and we are in the process of bringing it all the way up here. I had to go back on my phone to find out when we put this old pipe in that we're gonna connect into. Back in February of 2020, back before the world changed, we put this old pipe in here and we're gonna connect now into it. So it's a 4-inch gasket style pipe that we're gonna just put a T in right there and a valve so that we can turn on and off, and we have different zones of where all this water is gonna go. And we're gonna use a gravity flow system, but because of the way that we dug our pond, it ended up not working out because we went deeper in some areas than we thought. And this gravity flow pipe would have had to been 20 feet deep. So it didn't really make any sense. So we're just gonna connect it to our old lines. It'll be perfectly fine.
Now that Zach showed you that part, we're gonna go to the other side so it'll make a little bit more sense.
Yep. We made it to the other side, and this is kind of just showing how the gasket style pipe works. It has a rubber gasket inside there, and we just shove the pipes together. Once we have pressure in the line, it's never gonna break apart because we're always gonna have dirt on top of it. So it stays there, a lot quicker to put together. We've had some in the ground for 3 years, and it's done great so far.
We're gonna move on to my favorite part, which is the dock. And it's gonna be such a nice place to just sit, drink coffee, and look at the view.
That's right.
Now all that's left to do is add some water.
We're supposed to get a lot of rain tomorrow, and we're hoping to get all this pipe connected today and either start pumping tonight or tomorrow. We're gonna start filling her up.
It's gonna be a lot of water. That's for sure.
Yeah.
It has been a long day trying to get the pond ready to pump water, but we weren't able to do it today. So we got to do it in the morning, pump all the water in the morning. Hopefully it'll work. We have all of the pipes together. All of them are glued together. They just need to stay glued overnight so that we can let the glue set, and then we'll be ready.
About to turn the water on for the new pond. We have not been able to fix all of our underground setup yet, so originally we're gonna pump from the creek into the new pond. Until we're ready to do that, we're just gonna pump from the creek into our existing pond and from our existing pond into the new one. The way our irrigation's set up, that's just the simplest way while we get this rain. Later on, we'll fix it. All I gotta do is hit these 2 breakers and it's gonna turn on. Kendall's gonna meet y'all back there in the back, and then I'm gonna come back. Maybe I'll beat the water back there too.
Here it comes, brand new pond.
We'll fill her up.
First time to fill it up.
Let's do it.
Here it comes.
It's gonna be anticlimactic. It's not gonna come out fast at first.
That's okay.
Come on.
I hear it. Oh, there it is! Yay! Woohoo!
Heck yeah.
First time ever pumping water into the brand new pond. And y'all got to see it all here.
Nice.
Thank y'all so much for watching us build this pond. And now we're on to our next project.
I hate rock. She's gonna have to cut all that early stuff and just use that last one.
Yeah, she will.
Make sure she knows. A little bit so that we can tomorrow, and that's a perfect time to start pumping.